For this next exercise, we're going to put everything you've learned about shading to the test and draw a cue ball. To begin, you'll need to download the high-res photo reference of the cue ball I supplied you from the course curriculum and print it out on 8.5 by 11 letter-sized paper. It's already in black and white, so it doesn't even need to be a color print. Make sure the piece of paper you're going to draw on is cut to the exact same size. You're going to need your pencil set, a ruler, and have your grayscale tape now next to it just like in my example on screen. But before we begin, I want to quickly explain how to take advantage of the grayscale and shading techniques you just learned. Do you remember the coloring books you did as a kid where you would paint or color by number? Think of the grayscale as training wheels, but you're training yourself to shade by number. But the numbers aren't on the image, so you're going to have to do your best to guess what number or value each part of the ball is. Here's a vector version of what your line drawing is going to look like. I've broken the shadows and highlights into simple shapes. Breaking a complicated image into smaller shapes makes it easier for your brain to manage. This way, you're just dealing with one small piece at a time. And here are your values. On the left, of course, is your grayscale numbered from 10 down to 1. Now all you have to do is guess what value each area on the image is, and you'll know which pencil to use and value to make it. Let's start with this area. What value would you guess this is? I'd say its second value, so use your 4H pencil. This gradient area is a few different values blended together. Its seventh value in the middle, and its fifth value at the bottom. So you would start with the darkest value, in this case 7th, which is a 3B lead, and gradiate down to 5th value, ending with a B lead. Just like in the shading exercise. The shadow at the bottom of the ball looks to be 10th value. And the shadow beneath the ball looks like 9th. Can you see the subtle difference between them? The rest of the drop shadow is about 8th value because it's exposed to more light. And I'd say the background gradiates from 3rd to 4th value. Let's assemble that just using flat shapes. Here's second value, and here's that midtone without the gradient. This shape is the shadow reflected back up into the ball. Here's that 9th value drop shadow. The rest of the drop shadow, which I guessed is about 8th value. And of course the highlights are first value. Mastering drawing starts with learning two techniques, visualizing and simplifying. Any athlete will tell you before they throw a ball or do a backflip, they visualize themselves going through the motion in their mind. It works the same with the drawing. Before you begin, visualize every step you're going to take, one at a time. The second technique, simplifying, is just as important. In the coming lessons, I'm going to teach you methods to simplifying complex images into manageable shapes. Let's begin. First, I'm going to show you an easy trick to getting the placement of the ball right. Do this exercise with me even if you think you can eyeball it, because we're going to be using a more complex version of this technique in the upcoming lessons, and the best way to grasp something new is to start simple. You will need a ruler or a straight edge for this, and just a reminder, this technique will only work if your printout and drawing paper are the same size. I'm going to use my B pencil to draw with because it's light and easy to erase. Don't take a measurement, just place a dot where the ruler touches the margin at the top and bottom of your paper. Then make a straight line where the ball and ruler meet, like this. Then do the same for the right side of the ball. Place a dot at the top and bottom of your paper and make a line where the ruler and ball meet. So now you should have a line on either side of your cue ball. For the next step, I'm just going to make dots on my ruler to correspond with the two dots on the top margin of my printout. No need to take any measurements, I'm just drawing right onto my straight edge. Then I'll line my ruler up with the edge of my drawing paper and place the same two dots there. Again, it doesn't even have to be a ruler, you could easily just use anything with a straight edge. Then do the same on the bottom. You should be following along with each line I draw. Just watch my example, then pause the video and draw your line. Next, draw a line connecting the dots vertically. The line should be the same length as the one you drew on your printout. Now do the same for the top and bottom of the ball. I'm making an X instead of a dot so I don't confuse it with the last set of marks I made on the ruler. Oops, I forgot to draw the line. Not the shadow, by the way, just get the parameters of the ball. Line the ruler up with the top of your page and mark where your X's are right on it. Then line the ruler up with the top of your drawing and transfer your X's from the ruler onto it. Do the same on the right-hand side of the page. My X's line up more or less. And rinse and repeat. Just draw the lines connecting them horizontally. And that box will give you a perfect placement and size for your circle. You can also give yourself a line for where the shadow goes. And you know the shadow is going to end right about here. That's easy enough to guess. And now that you know this system, you can easily measure any other landmark you're having trouble judging.